Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel, and I had to record that intro 3 times because I kept saying the intro from the main channel because I just released a video there. Nice one actually. However, on the gameplay channel this evening we have here a Volibear, kind of being used in Pro unfortunately, Pro, high elo, versus a Kha'Zix. Now, we're focusing on the Kha'Zix as you get from the thumbnail, and Volibear is being tested a lot. As a Volibear main, I hope it goes away again and people realize that he has his limitations, although the clay buffs are pretty nice. From Kha'Zix's perspective, this can change the way you play the game. Purely because, as an assassin, and I was told this in a game the other day, that Kha'Zix isn't a ganker. Kha'Zix only farms. Well, you know, not all of us are 1200 RP or Gurren Kha'Zix mains who have challenger laners. Sometimes you have to be a bit more present. And in this game, we have here a nice gold graph, even all the way through for a very long time, even dips for the red team's advantage before Kha'Zix takes over. Now, how does that happen and how do we get to that stage? That's very important because not every game will you have the total control necessary in order to snowball a game. And someone said that I always do snowball games, and I really don't. If you look at the goal graphs of the games, which I link in the description, you'll see exactly that. Runes on your screen now, not going Dark Harvest, although we will get the pseudo Duskblade R evolve. Little bit of a meme leash, I suppose. Kites it out nicely, straight onto the Gromp, as it were. Bot lane leash, the Volibear was delayed, and basically now this tells you everything you need to know. Volibear, in high elo people tend to be stubborn. They're stubborn. And they will full clear for no reason, they won't look for lane impact. And sometimes that's okay because Volibear's case you can 315 clear. You know, all 6 camps. It makes you late to crab, but it buys your laners time to get levels that help them gank. Now in this case, you've got a Camille. You know, she's going to shove on the Malphite, looking forward to Trinity Force in the next patch, probably super excited. Very difficult gank for the Kha'Zix, especially pre-6 from the Malphite. Volibear's case, if this is shoved nicely, they can most likely dive this early. If not, that's a free gank as well. LeBlanc is amazing to gank for. If she lands her ethereal chains, free. It's a long stun once it's connected, and it's great for Volibear. You see this? Here you go, the Bard's even rotating. I mean, right on cue. As I said, I have not seen this video. I have no idea what happened. So that's really great. Nice roaming from the lane prior. And that's what Dude does. And, you know, junglers, you guys can do this as well. From Kha'Zix's perspective, you know, as a Volibear, if I run into a Kha'Zix, and I have the element of surprise, and I'm able to, you know, chain everything together with my E, get the auto cancels on the W, I'm happy. I mean, I can win that fight, especially with PTA. And in Kha'Zix's case, he knows he's pathing opposite to the Volibear, so that's worth noting. He knows he's not going to run into him, and he can probably look to full clear, get bottom crab, you can end up counter jungling the tier 2 Gromp, etc. So, let's see what he actually chooses to do. Volibear's case, looking at topside crab at the moment, could either go Krugs down here, or he could be there right now. Okay, we see the particles. We know he's doing this, but the Kha'Zix doesn't exactly have that inclination. If you don't have vision, you wouldn't know. But because we know he's topside anyway, doesn't matter if Krugs or Raptors, we have Prior on the bottom lane gank. Hello. Yes. Got my passive, got my Q. Throws a W, lands his E. Red buff, is it enough? Not enough. Volibear top lane. As I said, this is a free gank for Volibear Camille. I mean, if I have a Camille on my team, and she let the lane rebound. This is really good wave management by the Camille. She lets the lane rebound so that the Malphite has to walk up in order to get the CS and the experience. And Volibear just flash Q. You're not going to stop, but he's going Q-Max as well, which we can do now. We can go Ionian and Q-Max with a Turbo Chem Tank that gives us a lot of options. Kha'Zix's perspective, nice gank on the bottom side. And we're going to throw out some DPS on the shield of the crab and make sure we secure that. Now, this is where things get very interesting, and we talk about this in coaching a lot, actually. And link for that is in the description of every video now, at least in the last few weeks. Here we have the flex. Will Volibear go and take my tier 2 Gromp? Or will he Krugs reset and come bottom lane? From Kha'Zix's perspective, if he goes back immediately and decides to defend his Gromp, which is a possibility, this can be kind of risky just because Thresh will be coming back to lane, Caitlyn's over here, the Ezreal isn't exactly primed to get to the Gromp very easily, but you see on the minimap a nice ping out by the Volibear. He's anticipating that the Kha'Zix is going to do exactly that, because all junglers understand these things. So, let's see what Kha'Zix actually does here. He decides he's going to go for the gank on the mid lane. Now, she didn't flash, but she did TP, so let's see if the chains can hit again, because it's You will have a little bit of push in the favor of red team. Okay, E is used. Flash is burned. Chains hit. Damage output. Now Wave is in a great spot. This is in a great spot. If you can shadow the Volibear's potential ganks here, the LeBlanc has a lot of kill threat. The only thing is now, if Volibear had reset directly and gone to the Grump, which we can of course see, we know that as viewers, but the blue team doesn't know that, so keep that in mind. Gotta try to keep both perspectives always when you're thinking about jungle VOD review, because you know, you need to consider what the enemy jungler might be doing and base your decisions around that and learn the bits of information we get that allow us to track. So Volibear most likely Grump, Wolves. If I see this, now let's look at it from the Volibear's perspective. If I see this, okay, I'm on the Grump. I look at his pathing. I think, well, you know, let me do these. Okay, I don't like where he's pathing action. Okay, and let me go do the dragon. I think here you've got a really nice dragon, or of course mid lane gank as well. But that's only if the wave is nice. I mean, the mid lane gank only works is if the lane is pushing back in the other direction. This is tough because it's a cannon wave. You don't have flash. We're not diving this level 4 against the LeBlanc with the Kha'Zix in the area. I think here we could go and look for something cheesy. Not cheesy, just super dragon secures. Only reason being, because we know the Kha'Zix hasn't been back to base, and most likely is going to sequence to these easier to take camps. Because he doesn't have smite up until for another 10 seconds. And the Grump is the camp that's really juiced this patch. It had the buff of experience, so you want that to get as high a level as possible, as fast as possible. And it's really easy to take. You know, you don't have to waste time on the Krugs taking all the babies, all the medium ones. We don't like that. So I think, let's see what the Volibear does here. I mean, we've got the Kha'Zix doing as I said, but I think Volibear could have easily looked to do something here now. I only say this within context of vision, right? Just understand the context of vision here. If they took the crab and you assume this is warded, you will have a little pocket, a very small pocket. Now you can't walk into this, they will see it. But at the same time, you have bottom lane Prio. The Volibear has bottom lane Prio and the Kha'Zix is top side. The Syndra has no flash and TP. She doesn't have resources to fight this. The Malphite has TP'd as well. It's really free, and in your elo games, you should do that. However, this little pocket of vision, you can use your E to bring the dragon to you. And the only way they see you is if they click on the mini-map and say, ah, the dragon. They won't see it on the, if they click over the area, they see it, but they won't see you in this pocket of vision. So, neat little vision trick that you can use to pull out dragons and secure them. Was it Peanut? Tarzan? Who did it in OGN, LCK, a few years ago, with the Herald, did the same thing, hit a spear, or it was an elite spider, threw it into the pit. The Herald comes out, and if they click on it, they see it, but they don't see it on the minimap. So while they're focusing on their lane, there's no visual prompt on the minimap for them to go, aha, objective being taken. Unless you click on it randomly, you're not going to see it. So I think Volibear had a nice little sneak there. From the Kha'Zix's point of view, we simply want to take this Grump, obviously. Did I zoom out? I zoomed out. Take this Grump, obviously. Where's the Grump's HP bar? Why does he have no HP bar? That's weird. And then now, the problem with this extended sequence staying out is that you want to go and counter gank top lane. If Volibear had sequenced up, there's a gank most likely going to happen, and Malphite's not yet 6, but he does have his flash up. So, we scan. There you go. Good cut, good read. I don't know if you want to 1v1 him, though. He's already got Ionia boots. That puts that 15-second flat down to 12.5. You know, if you've got CDR in your runes, that's even more. But very nice, though. Are you trapped? I mean, it's a good pathing, but probably in a little bit of an unfortunate situation. Let's see. Okay. If you're communicating with your mid laner, I prefer this over sort of running the chances, but we should be able to get that one as well. No, not quite. Okay, let's assess this again. I'm not a fan. In raw strategic terms, I'm not a fan because this is warded and you scanned, but you didn't scan this brush. So you could be standing on a ward right now. You haven't spent any gold. And yes, LeBlanc has TP, but can you survive long enough? And unfortunately, that does happen. Bard also rotates, but that's results-based thinking. The play here is highly risky, volatile, and disrespects vision control that the fact, you know, from the fact that the Volibear was in the brush beforehand. We're able to get something, you lose your flash, and Bard rotates to help. Meantime, Malphite does rock things, throws himself at the Scissor Lady, and that's exactly what's meant to happen as far as I'm concerned with the game, so... Kha'Zix gets a little lucky there, but keep it in your mind. Keep it in your mind. Right, back to base. You can go now top side or bottom side. Don't feel compelled. You know, no one's a vampire. No one's compelling you to go and do that blue buff. This is your Krug camp. We can secure that, okay? Come on. Takes a while. Now you can take your tier 2 Raptor camp. Or we can anticipate the fact that the Volibear after these shenanigans went back to base and is now probably going to do these things. Okay? But we don't have any visual confirm of that. However, because the Syndra has no TP and Flash, I can see it, but honestly, I kind of like the idea of doing the Raptors to get 6. I think this is a little bit... You know, you're wasting time. You could have done the Raptors. You could be doing the Raptors. Could be doing the Raptors. Let Bard check for vision. Let Brad get rid of those things. You know, let's try and get our 6 as soon as possible. Because when you do... Okay, we're a little bit shy. But when you do, that's the experience nerfs, by the way. You see? The experience nerfs that come through in this instance. If you do that and you get 6 and now you go and clear this, you know, then you can look to gank. But don't waste time if you're not hitting that spike yet. Don't think we need to path like that here. There's no way. This pathing is very good if there's a wave crashing, but there's no wave crashing. You can just run across. Don't waste time. Unnecessary. Volibear could easily be doing blue side into dragon right now. We have no idea. That's what I would be doing. Again, second time that you should lose a dragon as Kha'Zix. You can also go dive bottom lane. I'm staring at it. You know, here it's okay to farm, but I'm very much thinking of this kind of stuff to get 6, using that prio to get dragon, to counter gank, take your red, and then you can reset, go back top side, your Grump and Wolves would have spawned, your blue's up, Herald's available to you, you know Volibear's going to be top side, so you're present on the same side to counter gank, you know, which is what Kha'Zix is very good at. So I think this is the right idea, just a little mismanaged, but also sometimes your plans just don't work. You have to adapt, as we said in the video tonight. So basically saying, listen, I need to keep farming. It's important that I don't stop too long in one place. Volibear shows bottom lane, as we expected. LeBlanc's going to get the blue, and this is something that you'll notice. He didn't even think about the dragon. He knew Volibear's going to go straight to the dragon. I gave blue. As soon as she shows mid lane with blue, everyone knows where Kha'Zix is. So, take the objective. There you go, there's a dragon. Thresh now roams, distorted back timers from bottom lane. Kha'Zix is in the area, let's have a look. It's tough. It's tough. But if Volibear's bottom lane, we can invade red. The only thing is if Volibear resets and comes down, or runs straight up, okay, safe. It's a good rotation by the Volibear. I mean, once this happens, you must do it. And this is the thing, junglers. Wait. Alright, nice flash, guy. This is the thing that's important. So, Thresh roams, right? Bottom lane is super low. If you're not super low, this is a 2v1 lane. We gotta pull the trigger. You can't let a 2v1 lane be won while the Thresh is roaming. You have to punish him. But you know the Volibear is in the area. Now, as the Volibear, make this play. I like this. Okay? How many points have we got? We got 3 points in that now. So you can either go W max or Q max now. Q is probably most efficient. But the Volibear is covering for the Thresh, knowing that he's going to lose a lot of camps. You know, he's a level up now. Same CS, but he's a little bit ahead in experience. In fact, I don't even think he'd taken the Krugs, right? No, he hadn't. So this counter jungling from Kha'Zix, I think I would just take the big one. I mean, you can't because you want to get 7 yourself. Yeah, I get it. But now you're giving him free experience reset. And the Volibear here showing. Close. Okay, now he can take the bottom crab. He's going to get a juiced Grump and Wolves. Those are his highest experience camps by far. And Kha'Zix basically says, alright, reset. Straight to the red. Cover this. Okay, you can look for a trap. Yeah, that's good. Alright. Volibear. Has his ult. Okay. Uh-huh. Get the unseen passive threat. It's okay, it's up. We have an empowered auto. TP from the Malphite. Trap Caitlyn. Ooh, lucky. Very lucky. Gaming. This is a game of League of Legends. So Kha'Zix resets and gets out. That's a little bit lucky, but it's good. I like the concept of trapping there. Well played, but the flashes are kind of funny. Everyone's coming back now. These guys should just be leaving. So, if this happens in your games, yes, and Thresh, that champion. All right, so now you see where these gold leads for the enemy team can come from. Yes, you forced it as Kha'Zix, and we didn't kill anyone, which is unfortunate, but your teammates decided to stick around anyway and die, and now you're pretty much in a rough situation. We've got 2 minutes left on the Herald to use it for towers. It's about 75% loaded. You can't really do anything until your team are back in the map, so perfect time to farm. I don't know why we would do Wolves Grump. I feel like this is inefficient. Because now you what I called it in coaching session, I finally came up with a term for it, was spaghetti pathing. Because you're overlapping yourself. If the idea here is to down bot lane Herald or down mid lane Herald, then you want to go Grump first. If your goal is to go Wolves Grump top lane, then you can do the Wolves first. Into the Grump, and you know, you're sequencing upside. However, here it looks like he's gonna go Wolves Grump and then go down again, so spaghetti pathing, waste of time. I mean, yeah, that's just a waste of time. I don't like it. Up, down, no, none of that. We got a fight brewing here. Volibear should be top sequencing down. Oh, I love it when it works out very well. LeBlanc, Syndra, well played. And that's the thing, just a quick note, yeah, I misthought what I was saying. Auto WQ is your biggest damage outburst from Kha'Zix. It's very quick. It's a better way, because if you auto QW, it just takes a little longer. And when you surprise someone with electric, you want as much damage in a short window as possible. So the auto WQ is a much smoother animation cancel for Kha'Zix damage. And we're forced to activate the Herald here. You can definitely take the crab. You want to be very careful though about who's around, where Volibear is. You're not going to have a lot of help. If you do have help, you can invade. If it's not warded, you can cheese. We don't really have anything to do to actually try. So I think defaulting to Raptors here or having the patient game is important. But if the ADC is disciplined, she's not walking up. In low elo, they would be walking up, so you can actually afford to wait there a little bit. In some cases, they won't even notice that it's warded and you walked over it. Free. We kind of want this next dragon, so I'm going to try and see if he resets here. He's got not that much gold. Not like a crucial itemization spike. But he's going back in a ward, that's important. Dragon's up and he's going back. So we kind of want to do it. And it's not warded here because it was cleaned out. Thresh is out of position. So this is good patience for an objective secure. We don't have TPs though. It's like if you're going to make the pick, you need to make the pick as soon as possible. You see the Q comes out, it's much slower. Actually, it's much slower. But it doesn't really matter if you're trying to stack the slow, right? Because the auto passive gives you a slow as well. So it's just about if you're looking for the shortest burst as possible. Doesn't make any sense. The fastest way to do burst damage. There you go. If you're looking to stack slows, obviously it's better to let one run out before you do the next. Free dragon though. Volibear decides to give it up. No lane prior. Might as well. Caitlyn was chunked also. Back to base. Second Herald is spawning. Now you might feel compelled once again to go to the bottom side. Don't. You've got a blue buff spawn. Volibear is doing things with Chem Tank. Gets ever frosted because that's a great item. Yo, Volibear, my friend. I mean, you pressed a lot of buttons. You didn't really do anything. Okay, so now you can say, oh, the fact that he did Wolves and Grump before is great. I don't think we really need to do this. We're nowhere near level 10. We can just go start the Herald. Like, Volibear's dead. Let's just go do the Herald. Let's just do the Herald. Do the crab at the same time because we have Brad to help us. Now we're wasting time that the Volibear's dead. Like, you could do this afterwards. I'm curious to see what happens here. I feel like this is wasted. Like, Volibear's still bot. You could be securing an objective. Some people don't like the second Herald. I love it. Because now you can actually make a really strong push that forces people to swap where you want them to, which then sets up subsequent dragons and so on. I feel like we're wasting way too much time here. He doesn't want them to know where he is, but ults in. Gaming. W misses, unfortunate, but we got ult auto again. There you go, cute finish. And you see what I'm saying? This is so much easier if you just do the objective and go with Brad top lane and 3v1 the person, now, if everyone is like pushing bot and mid and stuff, well, you've got a super herald push top lane to offset their pressure. I mean, I feel like it's completely wasted opportunity, but, you know, equal in gold still. Back and forth game. Volibear's once again running mid lane. This time he's able to get kills, deactivating the tower, and get out. Or just about. It looks funny when you speed it up. Next up, farm a little bit. Volibear's top side. Wooded. No other camps available. We could look to go make a pick now. We want to break open the map. So with Volibear being top lane, as an assassin, as a Rengar Kha'Zix, get into the jungle, get wards, scan, take camps, and basically if someone face checks, they die. Which should happen. I'm sure someone's gonna face. Ah, no, she's just out of position. Good night. Bye bye. Nice time. Nice ADC gaming. Super fun. Now, I don't like these moments. You know, that's where this herald comes in, because as soon as you have an opportunity for a push after a pick, you can actually do it. And all it needs to do is really break open 2 towers. Pinging. Malphite. Doesn't have ult though. She warded. I don't know. You can't really... Can you beat a 1v1? Don't think so. I don't think I have the confidence to fight that. Not gonna lie. I mean, maybe? There we go. Spikes evolved. Q after Q already. And we have Duskblade. So basically we've got 3 evolves. I like going back here just to shadow. It's good. Right. Next up is a dragon. We should have already had the herald. And that's why, again, the herald comes in big, because you could use it to create pressure for dragons. Now, because their back timing was better, and because Volibear just keeps turbo... You know, this is what Volibear is good at. He's gonna spike right now with these items. Oh, that's a 3-man Malphite lockup. TP coming in from Camille before the LeBlanc's TP, which means they have to disengage a little bit. The W does a lot of damage. Bot ult seals people in a tomb for a, you know, long time. LeBlanc isn't able to kill the Caitlyn. The Everfrost comes out and misses. So that TP was... Sorry, that wasn't Camille's, that was Syndra's. I meant Syndra. That gives him the dragon. Oh, I had to cut, I sneezed. There's just too much nonsense going on that I got allergic to it. I don't think we want a 50-50 this. I understand the concept of stealing a dragon, but it's a second dragon. It's really okay to give it. Because Camille's shoving the top wave. This is just ridiculous. I mean, he's got the heal. Why? What are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, you could easily have just taken your camp set, enjoy your dragon, let's reset, kill the Camille while their whole team's in the pit. You get prior on actually taking your blue side camps, pushing this wave up. You get to take this tower, push another one if they don't respect you. You get to put some vision here because you have numbers advantage. Camille respawns. TB will be up in what? 72 seconds. That's how much time you've got to play with. You get the crab. You get vision control over the very next objective. Someone can shove mid lane with protection. If Volibear engages without Camille's presence, you win that fight 5v4. And now you've got, you know, objective control. But no. Let's sit in the pit and try and 50-50 a dragon with the outnumbers advantage and without HP advantage versus a Volibear tank in his Let's regain our composure. If someone is split pushing, we should annihilate them. That's 100%. That's well played. That's well played. You eat in and then I'd immediately afterwards to avoid the Syndra stun. Hey, I like it. I like it. Well played. Okay, blue side camps are of course all stolen now, you see, so you lose a lot of experience as well. You reverse juiced yourself. Of course she took them. I mean, why just go kill the Camille 3v1 when we can just dance around a dragon? But we still get this. Alright. Next up, you're looking to... Basically the same thing. It's not really that advanced at this point. You're still looking to make a pick. No one can really match the Camille, which is your big issue. So, at this point, pushing waves up as far as possible while... There you go. That's what we're looking for. And now with this, you can make a play. If she's splitting bot like this, and you can do the dragon because maybe you got like 2 or 3 people, then it's definitely a good idea. But it's really inherently risky otherwise. And if you go and deal with her with more than a few people, they're going to do the Baron. So it's basically who's got the biggest nerves Out of position is Thresh, but we go for the Volley Bear. And you see the damage. It's a lot, but... I mean, I'm not really concerned about the Kha'Zix at this point when I have someone next to me. That's the thing. I mean, I know he's looking for the isolation proc, but... And this is why, you see the mid lane? This is what we want. Because now someone has to deal with this. And LeBlanc actually is able to 1v1 the Camille. That's huge. Straight into the Baron. But you need to understand... Guys? The Baron. Baron. What? Master, right? It's Master either. Yeah, spam ping him. Why don't you just do the Baron? If they show up, turn. Or disengage. Or everyone alternatively goes and kills them. But again, like, look where the wave is. You know, you just... What are you gonna do here? Nevertheless, as the jungler, remain calm. It's fine. We can farm our camps if IDC hasn't taken them yet. Volibear bottom side here. Reset. Armor penetration. Very necessary. There's no ways you're breaking through that that enemy team unless you have it. I mean, it's also like pure true damage on the squishies, so... Might as well. Same thing again. Nothing surprising. Trapping. Flanking. Why? And they're always going to do this. Eventually, you will have this with good vision control. This is what good vision control brings you. Assassins. This is what we are looking for. TP. I mean, you don't really have your engaged tank, which is kind of an... Oof, if that hurts. You don't have your engaged tank, which is kind of the issue here. And Syndra's rotating up from the bottom lane. Camille's joining in. You gotta pull the trigger before the Camille joins. Beautiful Malphite ult. Just trail, you've got your W. Nice. This is good. Good. And you have to understand, as an assassin, sometimes you don't need to dive in and get all the kills. If you're fed, you can. There you go, well played. But you're on a ward. You're on a ward. You're on a ward. I mean, he got out. I just free gold. Syndra's been caught out. Okay, so this is devolving to a mess. But the approaches are always the same, ladies and gentlemen. The approaches are always the same. Use your vision control for a nice pick. Get an objective from that. If you have numbers advantage, pull the trigger. Syndra's dead. I don't think they're going to contest this. You can go straight from dragon to this. You must. I don't think you have a choice. Volibear's trying to disrupt. Backline, Kha'Zix. Okay, this is it. Here we go. There you go. Straight into the Caitlyn. Get your damage. Use your ult to relocate. E for mobility. Beautiful. Well played. Excellent. The last two sequences is exactly what you're looking to do. Great vision control leads to flank positions for fights that can send you straight to an objective pit. Taking objectives and letting teams sort of waste their spells in the meantime, and then using that to reposition and flank from behind, that's all we're looking for. Well played. That's basically should break the game open for them. This is the beginning of that snowball I told you about. The game link is again in the description. And all coaching sessions where we talk a lot about this in more depth are on Patreon if you want to access them all. But yeah, nice example here of patience. Waffling a little bit, but also good patience. And you know, your whole team is doing well. There you go. Annihilated, but stood on a trap. Use your R to get out. You got treads, so. But also been pretty good. Camille's tilted, but this is the thing, right? She's split pushing. She hasn't really helped her team, and now she's complaining that they're fighting. And Kha'Zix's team understands that. In and out gameplay. Bottom lane split push with Malphite and Ezreal. This is fine. Someone can hold Camille, though. 42 seconds on LeBlanc. Okay, now you don't need to. I mean, I think you'd have to. I think someone has to. I mean, but you could. If you already had an inhibitor down, you could end the game, but... Because it's just her, someone has to go back. There's no ways you get two. I mean, trading 1-for-1 from red team's perspective is pretty good. But now, when she leaves, because Malphite goes back, you can actually force a siege a bit more. There you go, well played. And now, if you have TP advantage, use it and just close the game out. Nothing really more to say about this. Hopefully you see the concept behind pathing, pressure, objectives, assassin sort of mentality. You don't always need to have the highest kill participation. Your threat can take different forms, the lead you gain can take different forms, and also the pros and cons of certain decisions, in terms of timing and efficiency, really aid in how you carry games. So hopefully you can see that, hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like, share, and comment if you did. Don't forget to head to the Patreon, the main channel, the Discord, whatever else we do around here. And I will see you all in the next tutorial. Oh yes.